You walk into a room and nothing changes. You speak and people talk over you. You leave and no one notices. It is a specific type of pain, not the sharp pain of rejection, but the dull, aching cold of being invisible. You feel like a ghost in your own life. But here is the brutal truth. Being ignored is not a curse. It is a biological reaction. If people are ignoring you, it is because your behavior, your energy, and your presence are signaling to their primal brain that you are noise, you are safe, you are predictable, you are harmless. And the human brain ignores what is harmless. To stop being ignored, you do not need to be louder. You need to become a signal of danger, a signal of value, a signal of the unknown. In this video, we are going to deconstruct the 19 habits that separate the invisible majority from the unignorable few. This is about fundamentally rewiring the way you occupy space in reality. And I warn you, the final habit, number 19, is the one that makes the other 18 dangerous. Most people will never reach it. Let's begin the reconstruction. Phase 1. The physiology of power. Most people try to fix their presence with words, but by the time you open your mouth, the judgment has already been made. 90% of communication is subliminal. 1. The dead eye contact. Most people look at others with a pleading gaze, checking for approval. This is the behavior of prey. The unignorable person practices dead eye contact. When you look at someone, you are not asking for permission. You are observing. You hold the gaze 1 second longer than is comfortable. This triggers a deep, unsettling respect. They feel seen, and because they feel seen, they cannot look away. 2. The pregnant pause. Silence is the loudest sound in the universe. Insecure people rush to fill silence. The master uses the pregnant pause. Before you answer, you wait. You let the tension build. This silence creates a vacuum, and in that vacuum your words gain weight. When you finally speak, people lean in. 3. Anti-fidgeting. Fidgeting is a leakage of anxiety. It screams, I am not comfortable here. Habit 3 is radical stillness. You sit, you stand, you do not move until you decide to move. In a world of twitchy, anxious dopamine addicts, the person who can sit perfectly still is terrifying and fascinating. 4. The downward inflection. Listen to how you end your sentences. Do you go up at the end? That is the seeking approval tone. The unignorable habit is the downward inflection. You end your sentences with a drop in pitch. It signals finality. It commands the subconscious mind to accept the reality you are presenting. 5. Taking up space. Do you try to make yourself smaller so you don't bother anyone? You are shrinking yourself out of existence. Habit 5 is territorial expansion. You open your chest. You relax your shoulders. You occupy the space you are in fully. This signals to the room, I belong here. I am not a guest. I am a resident. Phase 2, the psychology of scarcity. Why are you ignored? Because you are too available. You are cheap. Supply and demand rules human attention. If you are always there, always nice, always available, your value drops to 0. 6. Radical brevity. The more you talk, the less you say. Insecure people over-explain. The unignorable habit is radical brevity. Cut your word count in half. Strip away the I think, maybe, sort of. State the fact. State the desire, then stop. Make your words expensive. 7. The walk-away energy. Most people are terrified of losing the connection, so they cling. You must cultivate the willingness to walk away, and you must mean it. This isn't about being cold. It's about having standards. You treat your attention as a privilege that can be revoked. The moment people realize you are capable of leaving, they will fight to make you stay. 8. Strategic absence. You cannot be admired if you are always present. Familiarity breeds contempt. Habit 8 is strategic absence. Sometimes you are just gone. This creates a gap in people's pattern recognition. They start to wonder, where are they? What are they doing? In that wonder, your legend grows. 9. The Mona Lisa smile. Why is the Mona Lisa the most famous painting? Because you cannot tell what she is thinking. If you are an open book, people read you once and put you on the shelf. Habit 9 is ambiguity. Do not reveal everything immediately. Keep your cards close. Be a labyrinth, not a highway. 10. Emotional non-reactivity. If you explode in anger or collapse in sadness at the slightest touch, you are easily manipulated. The unignorable habit is to be a rock in the storm. When chaos happens, your face does not change. You process the emotion internally, but display control externally. When everyone else is panicking, eyes will dart to the one person who isn't. That is you. Phase 3. The social sniper. How do you speak to people in a way that makes them addicted to your presence? 11. Deep listening. Most people do not listen. They wait for their turn to speak. Habit 11 is deep listening. You focus entirely on the other person. You listen not just to their words, but to the emotion beneath. When you give someone the feeling of being truly understood, you give them a drug they cannot find anywhere else. They will seek you out. You become their sanctuary. 12. Weaponized specificity. Generic compliments are noise. Habit 12 is weaponized specificity. You notice the tiny details. Specifics prove you are paying attention. It makes people feel special and establishes you as a connoisseur of quality. 13. The slow motion effect. Anxiety rushes. Power takes its time. Habit 13 is to deliberately slow down your physical actions. This distorts the perception of time around you. It signals you are not under the pressure of the clock. You are the master of your own time. It is hypnotic to watch. 14. Gatekeeping access. You must treat your inner life as a VIP section. Most people vomit their trauma to anyone who will listen. Habit 14 is gatekeeping. You share your life in layers. You make them earn the right to know you. The deeper they go, the more invested they become. 15. The unapologetic no. No is a complete sentence. People who are ignored are usually yes-men. Habit 15 is the ability to say no without offering an excuse. When you set a boundary without justifying it, you signal high status. You signal that your will is sufficient reason. Phase 4. The internal empire. The previous habits will make people look at you. These final habits will make people remember you forever. 16. Shadow integration. A person who is only nice is boring. A person who is only nice is weak. To be unignorable, you must have a touch of danger. You have integrated your aggression, your darkness, your capacity for mayhem, and you have it under control. It is the difference between a rabbit and a tiger. You never ignore the tiger. Why? Because the tiger is dangerous. Habit 16 is accepting your dark side. Let people feel that there is a monster inside you, but that you have it on a leash. That is true charisma. 17. High agency. Most people are NPCs, non-player characters. They follow the script. They complain about the weather, the economy, the boss. Habit 17 is high agency. You do not complain. You act. You do not wait for instructions. You create solutions. People naturally follow the person who knows where they are going. In a world of drifters, the person with a map is king. 18. Intellectual dangerousness. Stop repeating popular opinion. Habit 18 is to think critically, to have opinions that might offend. When you speak, say something true, even if uncomfortable. When you break the echo chamber, you shock the system. People might disagree with you. They might even dislike you, but they will never ever ignore you. Phase 5, the final habit, and now the keystone. Without this, the other 18 are just acting. With this, they become your nature. 19. The void. This is the hardest lesson. You must reach a point where you truly deeply do not care if they ignore you or not. Paradoxically, the moment you stop needing attention is the moment you become a magnet for it. Habit 19 is becoming comfortable in the void. It is being alone in a room and feeling complete. It is the understanding that your value is intrinsic, not extrinsic. You are the sun. The sun does not beg the planets to orbit it. It simply burns. It simply is. The gravity takes care of the rest. Look at these 19 habits. What do they have in common? They are all forms of conservation. The invisible person is leaking energy everywhere. The unignorable person is a fortress. They conserve their energy. They direct it with precision. They are a closed circuit of power. When you master these habits, the world changes around you. People will wait for you to speak. People will seek your approval. When you enter a room, the energy shifts. But you must be warned. This path requires a death. You must kill the part of you that wants to be a good boy or girl. You must kill the people pleaser. So here is your mission. Pick one habit, just one. Go into the world and test it. Watch how people react. Watch how they squirm. Watch how they respect you. You have spent enough time being a ghost. It is time to become real. If you are ready to stop being invisible and start being dangerous, write in the comments, "I am the signal." And remember, the world doesn't ignore you because they don't see you. They ignore you because they think they. Have you figured out? Prove them wrong. See you in the shadows.